I'm currently recording this on what day is it? I'm currently filming this on Wednesday, June 23rd. But and I'm not sure when I'll take the time to edit it and upload it, but again, thank you for 800. And I guess this can be my 800 subscriber special. Let's go. So, in this video, I'm gonna be teaching you how I shade hair. This can be used for gacha edits or just straight up drawing. I really don't care. You can use this as like a step-by-step tutorial if you want. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of a tutorial. Hold on. Okay. So first you you go to plus on Ibispaint and you import a picture. Well, if you're doing a gacha edit, you can import a picture, but if you're not, you can just draw the image. We'll go for original, because why not? So now once you have that, you're also going to import another picture with the hair on top of it. Okay, so the way I'm doing it is that I just took an image of the head and an image of the hair separately, so that once I don't have to draw the head myself because I don't feel like it. But you can do that if you want to. Okay, so I already have the outline and base color of the hair from my other video saved to my tablet, so I don't have to draw them again. But for the hair, you don't have to trace over it if you don't want to. Like, there are different things you could do. Like, you could trace over it, or you could just leave it, or you could do this. You know, where you like make the line smaller, but I chose to draw over it. Okay, so now once you've drawn over it like this, you're going to take the brush that you used, which I actually used one of the pencil brushes, pencil graphite. I used pencil graphite for the outline, so you're gonna, and you might have to watch an ad to unlock it, but it's totally worth it to be able to draw. So, okay. And now, so once you have that, you're gonna take the brush that you used for the outline of the hair, and so yeah, we're just going to erase the rest of that hair, the rest of the image, because I just need the color palette. Okay, so now you're gonna have to take the color that you're using for the outline. You can use black, you can use a darker version of the hair color. You can really use any color you want for the outline color. But now once you have the outline color and the same brush that you used for the outline, you're going to add lines from it to make it like more detailed, like separating the strands inside of the hair as well, like this. You can really add a lot more detail, and we're going for a really detailed shading style, so we want a lot of detail in there. Okay, now we also have the base color. You're basically going to go in and fill it with color, so I don't really think I really need to explain that. Okay, and now for the best part, the shading. Shading hair, in my opinion, is really fun. So this is my favorite part about doing, like, hair shading. So you're going to take pen fade, and you're going to take the same color used for the outline, and you're going to make sure it's on force fade, even though that probably won't change anything. And you're going to put like streaks like this at the roots of the hair, or whatever you want to call them. I don't know what they're called, like just where the hair is like starting. Their hair strands are starting, and then at the ends of them, like this. And yes, if it goes outside, you can always clip it to the bottom layer, but I prefer not to do that because it gives it more of a fluffy look when it goes outside of the lines. Because we're trying to make it as realistic as we can here, so, and real life doesn't have outlines. So you can clip it to the bottom of the hair, but I'm not going to do that. And now you take the smudge tool and you smudge it. You just smudge it like that. And if there is anything outside that you don't want, you can erase it with the eraser tool. Okay, and now you're going to make another layer with the same color, but the brush is going to be really thin, okay? I'm going to take the force fade off of it. And now you're going to draw little strands through the hair. This is what really makes it look like realistic because of the different strands, okay? So you're going to do different strands through the hair all the way like this. And once you have your strands, you're going to take your smudge tool. You're not going to do it like this. You're not going to blur them out. What you're going to do is you're going to smudge them in the direction that they're going. Okay, you can smudge them other ways or blur them a bit if you want to, but the way I'm doing it is how I always do it. And look, that looks nothing like the other thing. Like, what do you mean adding strands didn't fix anything? Well, that's because you're going to add another layer of strands as well. We're gonna keep adding, basically gonna keep repeating, adding layers of strands until we get what we want, okay? We're just gonna repeat the process. See, that's starting to look a bit better. But it can look still better than that. We want to have as much strands as we possibly can, because if you know anything about hair, you know, if you've seen hair before, there are a lot of strands in hair. There are like a lot of different strands. So we want a lot. Like a lot of these lines. It really helps give it that realistic look. Okay, I think this is good enough strands. I'm actually going to reduce the opacity on this a little bit and make a new smaller one. I don't usually do this, but I felt like doing it today. Okay, now we have all of that. Now I'm going to take... Oh dang, what is this color? Oh well. Now I'm going to take the color of... I'm going to take this color that's in between. And I'm going to make a new layer. You can make it over or above the layers. And I'm just going to draw strands like this on the edges. You can use a darker version of it. You can use the outline. You can use any color you want for it, as long as it's generally the same color as... It doesn't have to be the exact same color, but it has to be like similar color. You know what I mean? So yeah, in this part, you don't have to do this, but I think smudging it in the direction that it's going helps make it even more realistic, because it makes it look better, is what I'm saying. At least in my opinion, it does. This part is completely optional. In fact, adding these strands at all is completely optional. Okay, now we're almost done. You're going to still stick to the same brush if you want. You're going to take the color of the hair. Yes, not a light. Depending on how dark the color of the hair is, you might have to make it lighter. But if it's a generally light color, then you don't have to. You're going to make a new layer above everything and make it add. And then you're going to bring streaks of light across the hair. It might be bigger in some places depending on where the light's coming from. Like if I have the light coming from over here, then I'm going to have a lot of highlight over here. Or if it's coming from over here, we're going to have a lot of highlight over here. But this is just normal, like not really any specific light source, so we're just going to add normal highlights. Just smudge it. You can lower the opacity if you want to. I personally choose to lower the opacity. I don't like the highlights that much. I don't know why, I just don't enjoy looking at really strong highlights. Okay, and you can, this is optional, but you can draw specific strand highlights just like we did with the strands of the hair. I always choose to lower the opacity of the highlights anyway. But yeah, so, we're almost done actually. I thought I was done, but no. I'm going to take the color that's in between the outline color and the hair color, and I'm still going to use the same pen, okay? And I'm going to make the hair even more fluffy, because we really want that, like, fluffy, realistic look, so we're going to make it even more fluffy, so it's harder to tell that it has an outline, because we don't want this to look like it has an outline, because real life does not have an outline, so we're going to get rid of all evidence that there was an outline. You know, we're gonna, like, make the hair more fluffy by doing this. I'm not sure how to explain this technique of making things fluffy. But yeah, basically make it fluffy any way you can. Just find a way to show that there's no outline. We don't want it to look like there's an outline, because then it won't look as close to realistic. Now, the shading is realistic, but we want this to look like everything. We want everything to be, like, realistic as we possibly can. So, there. Now we're done. And that's how I shade hair. I hope you found this helpful. I think my friend wants to call me now, and I'm done the tutorial anyway, so bye!